So today we're going to dive into a list containing the top 10 cars on the current auto market that, statistically speaking, are more likely to kill you than get you to point B. The list was compiled based on data analysis done by iSeeCars.com, looking at all models from 2003 to 2017 and calculating the average amount of fatalities reported for every billion vehicle miles. Some of the results may surprise you and others will be probably completely expected, but at any rate you might want to give this video a close watch and maybe a thumbs up if safety is a concern for you. Number 10, Chevy Camaro and Dodge Challenger. So right off the back, I'm going to be starting this list off with a lie since I'm lumping 2 cars for the number 10 slot and the title clearly says 10 cars and not 11. The Camaro has a 5.5 cars per billion vehicle miles fatality rate and the Challenger is at 5.8. The reason I lumped them together like this is because they're so close in fatality rates and have almost identical reasons for achieving them, so I wanted to avoid some redundancies. It should come at no surprise that 2 of the top 3 American muscle cars would make this list. Over the decades long battle between the waged by Ford, Chevy, and Dodge to make the faster sports car offered at a better price, we now have an overabundance of cheap horsepower, which is alluring to us all. But it's downright dangerous for someone who isn't exactly prepared for it. It gets a bit more dicey too when you realize that both these cars have had their fair share of blind spot complaints as well. Both companies have done quite a bit to add safety features to combat these fatality rates, but it's not really the car's fault to begin with, and has everything to do with an inexperienced driver in a powerful sports car driving recklessly without the skill level necessary to do so. Number 10, Kia Rio. I'm not sure about you guys, but when I think of Kia, I think of economical, practical, and most of all, safe. Well, not really, but apparently there's a few ripples in the safety blanket at the Kia factory resulting in a 5.9 cars per billion vehicle miles fatality rate. The Rio is quite possibly one of the least expensive cars on the market today. Good job, Kia. But I suppose to get the price tag down, a few corners had to be cut with the safety features. The crash test for the model years we're talking about revealed a few weak points, earning itself only a 4-star rating from the NHTSA and only 3 stars from Euro NCAP. It was also discovered that injury to the rear passengers in the event of a side swipe was more probable than most other cars. I suppose there's also something to be said about its smaller size, but all these factors combined have accumulated into a 5.9 fatality rate. The good news, however, is that the Kia Rio has now rectified some of these flaws and has become a top safety pick in more recent years. Good job again, Kia. Number 8, Nissan Versa. For a lot of you, this probably didn't come off as a huge surprise considering the Versa is currently one of the top 10 least expensive cars in the US as of right now. Just like what we talked about with the Rio, obviously some corners had to be cut to get the vehicle at the price point, and unfortunately some of those corners created a higher fatality rate when an accident occurs, making the Versa hit at a 6.1 cars per billion vehicle miles fatality rate. Interesting enough though, the Versa was awarded by the IHS as a top safety pick in 2013, which is the first year of the model years chosen for the study, but due to change in testing procedures, the Versa was stripped off this title. Obviously, a car with such a low price point is going to be average at best in almost every aspect imaginable, and its safety test rating results were no exception to that. The new procedures expose a huge flaw and now receives a poor rating in the small front overlap test. This is what the suspected Achilles heel is for the Versa safety might be and why it's so deadly in an accident. Number 7, Nissan 370Z. Somebody go into the kitchen and check the stove. I can smell rice burning. Oh wait, no, it's just the Nissan 370Z burning its passengers alive. Before you guys go nuts with the dislike button and the negative comments, that was purely satirical. Anyways, we work up one notch onto the list with the Nissan 370Z by exactly 0.01. This guy has earned 6.2 cars per billion vehicle miles, leaving us with more questions than answers. Interestingly enough, the NHTSA and IIHS have never actually performed a crash test safety rating on this car before, leaving us with nothing more than theories and speculations as to why this car is causing so many deaths. It certainly could be a safety flaw left unrevealed because of the lack of crash testing, or it could be more along the lines of the Challenger and Camaro and it's just too much horsepower and too low of a price attracting owners who shouldn't even be driving smart cars. All we do know is that this is currently the 7th deadliest car in the US today. Number 6, Subaru BRZ, and this is where things start to get a little odd because it's a Subaru. The Subaru BRZ is at 6.9 cars per billion vehicle miles, and it's an oddity in my book for a few reasons. First of all, it's a Subaru. Subarus have a great reputation for being safe cars that score well in crash tests, the BRZ being no exception to that, since it was a top safety pick from the IIHS. This is why I'd never expect to see it on the list of cars with high fatality rates, much less to be ranked so high on that list too. Another interesting thing about this list ranking is that so far out of out all the cars on this list, this is the largest jump in fatalities as well. Most cars on the list have moved up from 0.1 to 0.2 deaths per billion vehicle miles from one car to the next, but the BRZ spiked up by 0.7 fatalities. Like some of the other cars on this list, the BRZ is an example of what an affordable sports car can result in. But again, why is the BRZ ranked so much higher than the others? Could it be that Subaru brand attracts drivers who are looking for more reliability and safety rather than a fun ride, and the drivers of the BRZ are much less prepared for this car and don't really know what they're getting themselves into? It's the only conclusion I could draw because it's hands down a safe vehicle safety test wise. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Number 5 on our list of killer cars is a Chevy Spark, which has us diving right back into the world of cars that are really almost too small for American roads because of their high fatality rates. The Spark scores a 7.2 cars per billion vehicle miles, and frankly this one does not come off as a big surprise at all. We all know exactly what the literal fatal flaw is here, the size. Now to the Spark's credit, it actually has performed well for the IIHS, earning itself an acceptable rating in the small overlap test, and is actually only one of 11 subcompacts to do so. That is really about as good as it gets for these subcompacts though, and seeing an acceptable rating for safety is not really what I would call a vote of confidence. If I asked the pilot of a plane I was about to travel on how safe the aircraft was and he said, it's acceptable, I'd immediately get off and find another way there. This is just the issue with these subcompacts though, and despite the lack of safety, these types of cars keep gaining popularity. The low price tag and excellent fuel economy just make these an excellent choice for a frugal assisted ride. Here goes yet another Kia, and this time the culprit is the Forte. This is another one of those sort of surprise but not really all at the same time kind of deals for our list. The Forte is at 7.4 cars per billion vehicle miles death rate, and its results are pointing more towards lack of luster safety features. The Forte is an obvious pick when shopping for a good value on a reliable sedan to make sure you can get from point A to point B, but unfortunately according to statistics compiled by the study, point B in the Forte is likely to be the morgue. But hey, at least you're getting damn good gas mileage on your way there. The Forte has been an on again, off again top safety pick, which means that not all 2013 to 2017 Fortes are unsafe, but rather just a few bad Apple years that resulted in a huge fatality spike and it finding its way to our list in the top 5s. So please, if you're shopping for one of these, do the research and pick a safe year. Number 3 is the Honda Fit, scoring 3rd place in our top death machines list with a 7.7 cars per billion vehicle miles. If you haven't gotten the point yet, subcompacts are more likely to kill you in an accident than larger cars. Huge shocker, right? So interestingly enough, the NHTSA has consistently given the Fit a 5-star crash test rating, but again, I realize I sound like a broken record here. These high crash test ratings aren't enough when these things get sandwiched between a semi-truck and a Hummer on the highway at 80 miles per hour. Another factor that probably gets the Fit so high up on the list is the fact that it's actually a pretty fun car to drive and not just for a subcompact. This probably leads more people to drive recklessly in one of these. You're more likely to see somebody behind the wheel of one of these guys to be weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds, having a grand old time until he hits the brakes suddenly and gets demolished by a Ford F-150 who doesn't even stop because they couldn't tell the difference between hitting a Fit or a bump on the road. Smashing through a guardrail, over a cliff, and right into the number 2 spot on our list, the Chevy Corvette. This is one of the cars on the list where you go, yeah, that makes perfect sense, and it does. I mean, where else are you gonna find this much performance at this price point? Corvettes aren't cheap by any means, but for what you get in them, they are certainly a steal. There are actually no crash test ratings for the Corvette because safety is not even a factor that comes into play when deciding to buy one of these. I mean, really, who has ever gone, yeah, I want a car that can go from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, easily maintain cruising speeds over 110 miles per hour, but also want it to be safe? Yeah, that's right, nobody. Ever. What gets really crazy, however, is how much the Corvette jumps in the numbers. We go from 7.7 to 9.8 cars per billion miles. Holy hell, that's a huge spike. But to Chevrolet's credit, they have made huge strides in recent years to make the Corvette a safer yet still badass and fun to drive car. Number 1, Mitsubishi Mirage. What do you get when a car company who has a spotty record of cranking out cheap, less than reliable cars makes one of the cheapest new cars available in a subcompact format? Of course, you get the Mitsubishi Mirage. This little Grim Reaper scored a shocking 10.2 cars per billion vehicle miles fatality rate and is the epitome of compromise, suited for drivers with a strong, good enough approach to life in general. I can understand drivers needing an economical vehicle for a more budget-conscious consumer, but there are better, more reliable, most importantly safer options in the same price range. If you have an argument for buying a Mirage, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. But boiled down, you have yet another subcompact car that is inherently dangerous already, thrown together so cheaply it doesn't stand a chance in an accident involving any sort of substantial speeds. This car should automatically get you on a watch list because clearly you have a death wish if you own one of these. So I'm curious, did any of the cars featured on this video surprise you at all? Let me know down in the comment section below. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure and like it. It takes a second to do, it's free, and it really has a positive impact on my channel. So just go ahead and like it. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, that way you don't miss out on my next video, and follow me on Instagram for channel updates and my BMW 335i build. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.